General Amelia Grant was a legend, a four-star general known for her steel nerves and unstoppable courage. But at home, her world had fallen apart. 2 years ago, her husband died in a tragic accident during a covert mission. Since then, her 6-year-old twin daughters, Emma and Ella, had withdrawn completely, refusing to talk, refusing to smile. They screamed at strangers, hid under tables, and fired every nanny the general hired. 12 nannies. 12 heartbreaks. The mansion had become silent, like a haunted place filled with memories of laughter that once was. Amelia's medals and trophies meant nothing anymore, she'd trade them all just to hear her daughters laugh again. Then came the day she almost gave up. That morning, a letter came from her commanding officer reminding her she was due to lead an international defense conference in 2 weeks. She couldn't leave the twins alone, not again. Out of desperation, she posted one last job listing. No one applied for days, until she got a call from a man named Jack Turner. Jack was a single dad and a decorated veteran who had served under her command years ago, though she didn't know that yet. He'd lost his wife to cancer and was raising his own daughter, Lily, who was now 10. He wasn't looking for a job, he was looking for purpose. When Jack arrived, the mansion guards looked skeptical. His clothes were simple, his smile calm, and his handshake steady. The housekeeper whispered, "You're wasting your time, sir. The twins don't let anyone near them." But Jack just smiled. "Then I'll start by not trying." He walked into the playroom and sat down on the floor, quietly, without saying a word. The twins peeked from behind their toys, suspicious. Instead of forcing conversation, Jack took out a small wooden horse from his pocket, one he'd carved for his own daughter during his deployment. He set it on the floor, pushed it gently toward them, and said softly, "I used to make these when I missed home." The twins didn't respond, but they didn't run either. It was the first silent victory. Over the next few days, Jack showed up every morning at 7 a.m., sitting on the floor with them, drawing, carving, sometimes saying nothing at all. Slowly, the walls began to crumble. Emma reached out to touch the horse. Ella began leaving her drawings on the table when Jack wasn't looking, pictures of her family before it all fell apart. When the general returned from her meetings, she'd watch from the hallway, speechless. For the first time in years, her daughters weren't afraid. But things truly changed one rainy afternoon. The twins had locked themselves in their father's old study, the room they never entered. Amelia stood outside, trembling, unable to go in. But Jack walked up, knocked once, and said, "Girls, I know how hard it is to miss someone who never comes back. But I also know your daddy would want to see you smile again." There was silence. Then a small voice whispered, You miss someone too." Jack swallowed hard. "Every day. But I learned something, the people we love never really leave. They stay right here." He tapped his chest gently. The door creaked open. 2 little girls stood there, eyes filled with tears. They ran straight into his arms. From that day forward, everything began to change. Jack taught the twins how to plant flowers in the garden, how to ride bikes, how to make pancakes that never looked perfect but always tasted amazing. He didn't treat them like fragile glass, he treated them like kids who deserved a chance to live again. Amelia watched, amazed, as laughter returned to her home. She didn't realize when her admiration for Jack began to grow into something deeper, something she'd thought she'd buried forever. Weeks passed, and the twins called Jack Mr. J. But one evening, when he was packing to leave after dinner, Emma tugged on his sleeve and said, "Don't go, Daddy." The room froze. Amelia's breath caught in her throat. Jack knelt beside the little girl and whispered, "I'm not your daddy, sweetheart." But Ella shook her head. "You feel like him." Tears filled Jack's eyes. He looked up. And for the first time, Amelia smiled through tears. "Maybe they're right," she said softly. "You've done the impossible, Jack Turner." He stayed after that. Not for the job, but for the family that had slowly become his own. The twins learned to laugh, Amelia learned to feel again, and Jack finally found the home he never knew he was missing. Months later, at the military conference, General Grant stood on stage with her medals shining, but this time, when she looked into the crowd, it wasn't the applause that mattered. It was the sight of her 2 daughters holding hands with Jack and Lily, waving proudly. She ended her speech not with her rank, but with a truth she'd learned the hard way. Strength isn't about never breaking. It's about having someone who helps you heal when you do.